way.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the benefits of self-education in comparison to institutionalized education, as far as in the traditional schooling system. Of course, there's pros and cons to everything, and it's all about making sure you're in the right state of mind to definitely leverage whatever situation or whatever decision you decide to make for yourself and for your business. Me personally, being a person that have experience in both sides, being a college student, going to school traditionally, having the traditional mind state or mindset, and wanting to be successful, wanting to be rich, just like everybody. Everybody wants to be successful, wants to be rich, but doesn't really know the blueprint on actually having to how to accomplish that. So, and I think, like I said, there's pros and cons to everything. I think the biggest pro to going, like a person going to college or to school in general, is being a part of atmosphere, being a part of a network, a targeted network at that, and also having the ability to be exposed to different resources and opportunities, and then being able to utilize a name and words on a piece of paper, like diplomas and bachelor's and master's degrees and stuff like that, as leverage based on adding that to your personal credibility within that particular industry. Now, that only can work in your best favor if you're an individual that goes to school, day one, with the proper mindset. So the proper mindset is knowing exactly what you're going for and what you need to obtain while you're there, and investing into that school and institution for that 4 years or 6 year term that you decide to go. You have a bigger job to do than going to school, going to class, turning in your homework assignments, and passing an exam. Your job and your duty to guarantee your success, or to guarantee the worth of your investment, is to take full advantage of all opportunities, to take advantage of all resources, to take advantage of the network. While you're in school, you're supposed to meet the individuals that will assist you within your industry. You're supposed to be building and gathering upon the resources that are sitting right there around you, in different shapes, forms, and fashions. So if you're not doing that, and you're just going to school and you're just making sure you're getting the grades, you're going to school, you got the attendance and everything else, that's good and that's great, but that's not, you're not going to get successful just by doing that. Those are just the basics. I don't care how hard you work, how long you stay up, making sure you ace that exam or whatever. If you're not able to do all the above, you're gonna fall short. Which is why we have people that go to college, because that's what they heard is the thing to do. From the, parents, grandparents, family, friends, peers, etc. Everybody say, hey, you got to go to college. You need a college degree. College degree is cool. It's great, but only if you know how to use that. A college degree is nothing but a tool. It's black words on a piece of paper that says that you're good at something. But this is the problem. Those words on paper don't prove experience. So you have to take it a step further. So you have one or two choices. Either you're gonna do what somebody typically does, as far as going to school. They go to 4 years or 6 years. They graduate, and then they're up under perception that all these jobs and opportunities in this big career within this industry is gonna fall within their laps. which is a horrible misunderstanding and miscommunication, because not knowing how the world works. Because now, once you go to apply for those jobs within those careers, those targeted careers that you went to school for, they're going to ask you for one thing: experience. That's what they're what they're going to be looking for. Experience is key. It's king within any industry. Experience outweighs anything on a piece of paper. A piece of paper is just icing on the cake. It's nice to see. It's good to have. But you can outweigh in most industries, not all of them. Now, you can't just be a doctor or whatever, a freelance doctor, and things of that nature. Entrepreneurial doctor. You can't, that's not going to work in those particular industries. If we're dealing with medical. But anything outside of most industries, outside of that, for the most part, in most industries, experience is the king. It is going to be the dominating factor of your success and the opportunities that you have leaving college or leaving that particular educational institution. So keep that in mind. If you do not have a solid plan before you go to college, it's a strong possibility that you can end up like hundreds of thousands of individuals do, because their job, that school's job, is not to, or the world that provides these structures called educational institutions, they are not designed to actually show you the way and path to success within any particular industry. That doesn't come with the package. We are up under the assumption that if we go to school and go to college and graduate and get that bachelor's or master's degree, that is automatically, the access is automatically granted to us once we accomplish that. That is beyond factual, non-factual. So we need to understand, because if we don't understand that, you're gonna go and spend and waste a lot of time of your lives. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up accumulating a lot of debt. The first is one thing guaranteed that you're going to be facing once you finish your terms inside of a college institution. It's going to be a big debt note waiting for you, and it's going to follow you for however many years it takes for you to actually resolve or settle that debt, unless, of course, you get a full ride scholarship or or you know how to utilize, or you've utilized different things such as grants to be able to eliminate a lot of that debt. Other than that, you are in a very risky situation and huge financial liability. That's why the majority of people that go to college and go and take up majors that just sound good, a lot of people just take up majors that sound good. Oh, I want to be that. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to do that. Oh. But they don't take the time to actually investigate and educate themselves on where the industry is now and the possibilities of where that industry will be later. Those are extremely important key factors to masterminding your success. This is how you guarantee your success. This is how you blueprint your success. You're not just taking a long shot. This is what the industry is today, and based on your research, you've determined the growth within that industry or the growth of opportunities within that industry based on you reviewing previous history of that particular industry, or jobs within that industry, or careers within that industry. So it's a lot of different things that we got to pay attention to. Outside of that, it's very important to make sure we make the proper decision as far as to what school that we decide to go to and invest our money and time into, because that school might contradict or might not provide the tools, all the vital tools and resources and opportunities that you need to really open up the doors for yourself in that industry. What else? So that's the traditional That's the traditional way of doing things. You graduate high school, go to college, right? Go to college and get a degree, right? If anybody's been paying attention to any of the great minds and the success stories of all the biggest, wealthiest men and women across the world, most of these people were either college dropouts, high school dropouts, or wasn't great in any fashion academically in general. You know what I'm saying? But they had a generalized understanding on the world around them. They were conscious to different important aspects of how the world works and how business works around them. You see what I mean? And they were able to place themselves in position within the world that's around them to gain a certain level of success. So those are things that are not taught in school, and a lot of the people have masterminded the ways on taking advantage or leveraging previous experiences or personal experiences that they've had in their own lives to adapt into a professional industry or a professional trade. You see what I mean? Certain life skills. See, life skills come from experience. But in general, entrepreneurship is the key to success long term without the liability, the extra liability and stress. Because if you look at a lot of people that they go into a lot of these fields, I personally feel like a career path doesn't necessarily fully identify the person. Meaning that if I become a doctor, right? All right, if I'm a doctor, now anybody that has known a doctor, is like I'm not saying necessarily but you have industries and careers that they become when you have a career, you become that career, because that particular career or that within that particular company that you're working for becomes you. You see what I mean? Or you become it, or vice versa. Meaning that because that's what comes with the territory when you have to give so much of your time to one particular thing. It becomes you and you become it. So you have to ask yourself, is that it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go crazy if I can only be one thing, or I can only express myself in one individual fashion, in one way, you know what I'm saying, in one aspect. Expression is unlimited. And I feel like that the more ways we can discover on how to express ourselves, the greater the enlightenment, the experience of enlightenment, the areas of enlightenment will be revealed. I don't believe that we were here to be one-dimensional. I believe that the majority of us, if not all of us, are multidimensional beings. We just don't know it. Or the majority of us just don't know it, or just don't understand what it means or what it takes to be that, to be able to have yourself or keep yourself in a position of unlimited expression. So in order to put yourself in a position to express yourself limitlessly, we have to always be in a comfortable position of change or to change. Now, people might question what change is. What does it mean to change? Some people might consider change being a bad thing. Oh, you changed. Change is indefinite. Change is required. Change is recommended. Change is needed. any change, any form of significant change promotes growth. And that's growth, whether we're looking on the aspects of mentally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to always be in a position to change. So understand that these things that we decide to do to express ourselves are just those things that we decide to do to express ourselves. We are not those things. I don't believe it's safe for our spiritual growth, definitely, outside of even beyond mental growth, to attach ourselves to anything that prevents or limits us from expressing ourselves in other areas. Time is the most precious asset. Time is our most valuable asset, because that's one of our assets, our God-given assets that we can't get back. So we have to find a way to really manage, leverage, and take advantage of the time that we have. On whatever time scale or time clock we decide to manage that time within. It's only a certain amount of time, definitely, no matter how we decide to scale the time of life. Whether you live on a 24-hour clock, 36-hour, 48-hour, whatever. Time is still in other aspects some form of an illusion, because we're still reading the time of a clock that somebody else designed for whatever purposes, good or bad. So we are essentially on our own time clock, our own time scale, and our own time schedule, and we still have very limited time, especially once we acknowledge that we have been pushed back in time, right? So the advantages of understanding the duality, balance, is by having the experience of the tradition. You have to have the experience of the tradition and the standard to appreciate the unorthodox. The unorthodox really has no rules, because you make the rules. As far as an entrepreneur, you make the rules. This is your ball game, right? As an entrepreneur, there's no handouts, there's no blueprint. You make the blueprint. Now you can study and pay attention to other people that have claimed success or actually reach certain levels of success. You can study the things that they lay out, or things that they do, or the things that they say, to help map out your own blueprint. But the truth of the matter is, nobody can truly 100% tell you every aspect of how to structure your blueprint within your own spiritual or entrepreneurship path or journey. It's impossible. You have to begin living that, and you won't understand it until you start walking the path. And once you walk the path, you'll realize it's a dead end down there. You don't know it's a dead end until you get there sometimes. Now, if we pay attention to some of the examples around us, we should take advantage of opportunities to be able to live through other people's experience. This is how we avoid dead ends. Some dead ends are inevitable, because it's something that we needed to learn within that end, within that hiccup, or within that that particular so-called failure. And there's no real such thing of an actual true failure, unless you go through a situation or experience something in which you did not come out learning or obtaining a different or another way of understanding, or looking at that particular event. As long as you learn from a situation, I feel like that is more of a level of success as opposed to a failure. And you can use that experience of failure as leverage to accomplish and achieve your goals. As an entrepreneur, there's so many levels to it, and it's real easier said than done. You know, a lot of people are claiming that and doing that, but it's easier said than done. So ultimately, to close this out, because I don't want this to be a very long video, like I said, the pros and cons to traditional education and self-education. Self in general, in a nutshell, self-education allows you the ability to be able to retrieve information, obtain information, to learn outside of a syllabus. You know, a syllabus is good because it has structure. You see what I mean? It's a structure. We absolutely have to understand, and we have to build the ability to be able to develop structures, right? And to understand the importance of a structure. But at the same time, we have to understand that we also can't get locked within one particular structure. We have to understand how to design structures that are technically limitless based on the perspective that you created or designed your business or businesses in a way that in any given time where there have to be some sort of subject to change, you're not losing from that change. Any subject of change actually will promote a level of growth within yourself and within your business. That's when you know you're designing, you're becoming a master architect for the design of your business and the design of your life. You know, some businesses and some things should be built and designed with a great, strong foundation, a great organization, but then at the same time have a detonator in which all you got to do is press the button and you can destroy it. Because even though we need to operate on our God level and become the actual creators that we are and producers that we are, thou that creates shall and can destroy. Which means we can't create something outside of ourselves and attach ourselves to that something outside of ourselves to the point that we become that we've created outside of ourselves, to the capacity that if we ever have to destroy that we've created outside of ourselves, we then destroy a major aspect of ourselves, in which can hurt us or can possibly kill you. And that logic and that concept can go in any direction, whether we're talking about mentally, spiritually, or physically, or just in business. Stay in tune, like, share if you appreciate this message. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell if this is on YouTube, Instagram. Follow me at HailRazor. That's HAIL, the number 2, and RAZOR. I will be back with more and more sauce.